Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
This is Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are Lido Loca, and it's the Lido Loca podcast.
Yeah, episode 3.
Yeah, we're back for episode 3. It is, what is the date? The 8th of December?
I think so.
I think it's the 8th of December. Let's look. So
I don't know.
We're recording this on a Sunday. We weren't here last week because we were still on we were finishing up our cruise, right? We were on the cruise.
We were on the cruise.
We're on the cruise. This is Sunday, December the 8th. Last Sunday, December the 1st, we were on the Carnival Sunrise.
Yes, we were pulling into Nassau, right?
I don't know. It was the second day of the cruise, right? Princess K.
Oh, that's right. Princess K.
Mm-hmm. So, surprise, this episode, we're going to talk about our cruise on the Carnival Sunrise. It had a lot of interesting elements. It was only a 5-day cruise. It's the first one in a series of cruises that we've been on that was only 5 days long.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it, though.
Did you?
I mean, for me, it was a little...
short?
It was short.
It was short. So we'll talk more about that. And then it is 90 days. The cruise blues are starting to set in. We came home on Thursday night. We came home Thursday night.
Right.
And 2 days later, the cruise blues is setting in. Now, I didn't think it was going to set in because we'd been on a string of cruises. But man, I so much love that cruise life that only a few days off the cruise ship, I'm like, when's that next cruise?
I mean, it's all the time, though, right? Like,
That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, I love it.
I do. I love it too. So 90 days until our next cruise, but we had a lot of stuff going on from a Lido Loca perspective. So today's show, guys, I hope you guys are there. Strap in. We don't really have a hard and fast outline. I know we want to talk about the sunrise and just talk about life in general. It's the holiday season. We just got through Thanksgiving, so we'll talk a little bit about Thanksgiving and really just do a check-in. Just check in.
Well, and I think that's what we do the best, right? Like we just kind of fly by night. No, wow, that's not really.
That doesn't sound good, Jenny.
Well, unscripted.
Unscripted? I don't know.
I don't know.
It is what it is.
Raw.
Did you make an outline?
Tony and Jenny raw.
Did you make an outline?
No.
I did not make an outline neither. So that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. Locafam.
Okay, let's tell the listeners out there that we do have coffee.
I was just going to say, we are a little planned that, you just ran out to get the coffee, the fresh coffee.
Cheers to the coffee.
Cheers, my love. I love you. Cheers, Locafam.
Let's do a podcast. Let's podcast it.
But you got to drink it like that, right? Like you got to shake it a little bit.
What do we drink for coffee, Jenny?
That is an iced coffee, right?
Iced coffee from Starbucks.
Yeah.
And it just has cream and sugar.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy. No flavored anything.
No, it's delicious though, right?
It's
you
delicious.
Can taste the coffee and
the nectar of the gods.
That's right, it is.
So, man, I was making a video today. I made a video about the cruise, about the sunrise, and the fact that we had a scooter.
Right,
and how but before that, I was trying to make a video about the gambling on the cruise that we did.
Yeah, we didn't spend more than what we normally do, but we did get in that casino every day.
We got in the casino every day, but man, for some reason, nothing went right making the video today. Like my batteries died. What do you
probably
think?
Weren't supposed to talk about it then,
or maybe at least make a video about it. Maybe I was supposed to save it for the podcast. What do you think?
Yeah.
So here's a little insight into Jenny and I. When we were younger, the vacation that we liked to take when it was just her and I, when we weren't taking any kids with us, would just be a trip to the casino. We've gone to so many different cities to visit a casino, and we like to stay at the casino. We like to have some good food. We like to gamble, and we like to catch a show. Now, if you see those key things there, catch a show, eat some food, and gamble, you might already recognize that lines up pretty well with the cruise life.
That's right, because we could be in different countries.
Yeah. So I think that's really one of the reasons why we like cruising, and so. It's been a really great year for us. We've had a lot of opportunities. We got to go on a lot of cruises. Mm-hmm. We worked really hard and we threw a lot of money at cruises. But I tell you what, by the time we hit the sunrise, at least the week of the sunrise, Thanksgiving week, I was kind of tired and I wasn't really sure how active I wanted to be on the sunrise. So we didn't really even talk about this, but I just kind of resolved that I wasn't going to do much on the cruise other than sleep, eat, go to shows, and gamble. I made it an old school vacation for us. I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like we had a great time.
I had a wonderful time.
But there was no pressure to do any excursions. There was no pressure to do anything really. We didn't bust the cameras out too much. It was really just like, let's just take a moment to relax
And rejuvenate
and kind
Reflect.
of close out 2019. Now, the cool surprise that we had was it 3 or 4 days or a week, I don't know, before the cruise, we found out that your mom and your stepdad, Frankie, your mom, Emily, and your stepdad, Frankie, they were going to get to
Frankie
go.
Poo.
Frankie Poo. I think it's great. There's a great Jenny got the waiters in the MDR to call Frankie Poo. I don't know if he loved it or not, but we found out they were going to go on a cruise with us.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, what a nice surprise.
So to me, it solidified this idea of just being present and being in the moment. Now we did do some work, right? The life that we're building for ourselves. It's a YouTube creator travel agency Cinderella story. We had the vision probably 2 years ago that we could maybe escape the 9-to-5 and make our way in this world as people who make entertainment for people and help people book travel, right?
Right.
That's probably the top level thought process that we landed on a couple years ago, and now that's starting to finally come to fruition as we close out our time here in Charlotte.
Yeah, it's been a kind of interesting year, right? Like, because like you said, a couple of years ago, we're like, wow, wouldn't this be cool if we can just, turn the 9-to-5 into, midnight to midnight, and that's really, but at our pace, right? And, I kind of always liked the idea. But then, of course, I also loved my 9-to-5, right?
Yes, and it took some intervention for your 9-to-5 to no longer be viable for you.
Yeah, it just came to an end, and
it's a win-win, right? So you worked for a small company here in Charlotte.
Right.
That company was bought out by a larger company, so it was a really positive thing for the person that owned the company.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's a positive thing for us too, because it gave us that push to finally just do this full time. So that was a long lead up to say we did do some work on the cruise because, part of this life of being a content creator, of being somebody that helps with travel, you got to do things that are abnormal, right? So vacation doesn't necessarily mean vacation. Look, I work in my sweatpants almost every day, right? And I work at my house and I get to think of fun things to do and say, and, we get to help people book their travel. So it's not the normal life. And so we don't necessarily have the normal rhythms and routines. And one of those is working a little bit on the cruise, but as well as we could this cruise, it was kind of a vacation cruise, right?
Absolutely.
It was great.
It really was fantastic. And, I've been away from, so let me give you a little background, locafam. When I lived near my mother, we would see each other every night.
Every night.
How
often do you talk to your mom on the phone?
At least 3 or 4 times a day.
It's every day, bro. Every day.
Yeah. And, so to be away from home.
Look, I don't talk to my mom that often. And if she's listening to this or watching this, I apologize. I should do better. Jenny, you need to make me call my mother more.
Okay. Well, I call you mama too.
Yes, you do.
Because family is just important, right?
Yes.
And that's like the bottom line. So anyway, it was very interesting, so my sisters and my mother, we all lived within a mile radius of each other. So we would all get together every night for a cup of coffee or jump in the pool or whatever,
Yes.
So it was very interesting because I've not spent this much time with her just relaxing.
Yeah.
And it really does warm my heart that I was able to spend that time with her and, get to know Frankie Poo a little bit better. And
it was pretty. It was
great. A great time.
We'll give you some idea of. Well, let me close down the casino part of the story. We gambled every day. And I'm still going to make the video that I tried to make today. So make sure you follow us over on our YouTube channel, Lido Loca Cruising on YouTube. There'll be links for this in the show description. And if you want to see a video presentation of this podcast, there's a YouTube channel just for this podcast, Lido Loca Podcast. So you can see that. But
They want to see that Atari shirt.
Oh, I'm rocking the Atari shirt today. This is my cruising apparel. So basically, you know, we don't really gamble with a lot of money. And I always had the question, how much do you have to gamble before you get some sort of casino offer?
Right.
And I didn't gamble any more than I normally do on the cruise.
Right.
I'll tease the video. I'll reveal in the video how much I gambled. But the fact is, we gambled every day, and I probably gambled for more than an hour every day.
Right, myself included.
And we got home after this 5-day cruise, and we both had casino offers.
Yeah, and so I've received casino offers in the past.
Yes.
But like, you know, $200 off or $50 off or whatever. But these were kind of nice.
These are nice, like free drinks in the casino. Unfortunately, we don't really drink that much, so it's not that great of a perk. But the fact is, you know, sometimes it's hard to get a free drink in the casino.
Well, and it's also, we were invited to the Ultra Cruises.
The Ultra
So that's
Cruises.
what those are.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
So we get.
Well, and I'll tell you what's exciting about that too. A couple of weeks ago, if you remember, I was like, I just want to know when these Ultra Cruises are so I don't book them.
That's right. And yeah, so we have this extra insight to
Yes.
know. Yeah, we need to look at the schedule and,
Yes,
and understand
we do.
when the Ultra Cruises are.
But now, on the flip side, I'm like, I may want to get on one of those Ultra
I've
Cruises.
had to talk Jenny off the ledge twice today from
Yes.
just booking a cruise. The benefits are good, but there's not enough benefits, I think, to
No, because
change our
we're
cruising
not
schedule.
big drinkers.
Yeah.
So, but it's still kind of the cool aspect.
It's nice to be thought of that way.
Exactly. I'll tell you what excites me about it though is that Ultra, they give you prizes every day. So I mean, like that's kind of why I want to jump on one of them.
We might have to try it.
Yeah.
We might have
Just
to
to
try
experience it.
So so this really brings us into the idea of the sunrise. Let's break down a little bit how we got to the sunrise. We left Charlotte last Wednesday because last Thursday, well, it's been a week since I don't know what day it is.
Today is Sunday.
Our cruise was the Saturday of the week of Thanksgiving.
So it was 1 week and 1 day ago.
1 week and 1 day ago was our cruise. But we headed to Florida the day before Thanksgiving.
That's right.
And it was really nice. We got to go down to the west coast of Florida and hang out with family and have Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And then we had Friday just to relax. What did we do Friday? I don't even know what we did. Well, we made our way over to the cruise port.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we drove across the state to Fort Lauderdale from the Tampa area. And that was the first time I think I've ever been on what's called Alligator Alley.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever made that trip straight across
that's
there
true,
before.
because you've never been from Spring Hill to Fort Lauderdale or Miami. Mhm.
Yeah. So what was pretty wild is it was like we drove through a swamp and I kept looking for
With
alligators.
nothing and nothing.
A lot of bugs. A lot of bugs.
And
there was nothing.
We ran out of windshield fluid.
We ran out of windshield fluid, almost ran out of gas. And then we ended up in Fort Lauderdale. And we stayed at a nice place in Fort Lauderdale. What was the hotel?
The Hyatt Place.
Yeah, we stayed at Hyatt Place. Really good rooms.
Yeah, I love the Hyatt Place.
And then the next morning we got up and we got on the cruise ship. And I did make a video today talking about having the scooter on the cruise. And you arranged that scooter. So your mom...
My mom...
your mom has some mobility issues with her knees. And so we rented a scooter. And I just thought maybe you'd want to share that scooter rental process in case anybody has that need. This is through Carnival Cruise Lines. And I just, if you want to break down what the
my mom did it.
Yeah, but you helped, you walked her through the process, right? Or told her how to do
my
it?
cousin did.
Okay.
But I am able to do that with Scoot Around. So Scoot Around is a company that actually, rents the scooters. They drop them off at the cruise ship.
Okay.
And then you have them for however long you're on the ship, and then you just return it. It's and I booked, I could.
The process was so seamless for me. I didn't know how
really
I didn't
great.
know how it worked.
Yeah,
Like
you
I
just
just
call up
thought you
and you
did some
tell them.
sort of magic. But we got to
I always do magic.
we parked at the Dania Beach Casino at Park by the Port. That was another great
Yeah,
experience.
that's one of my favorite little parking spots over there in Fort Lauderdale.
10-minute shuttle to the cruise, and then we went into the terminal and we went right up to where the mobility people were.
Right.
And they gave your mom a scooter. It was so convenient. I was shocked how easy it was.
Yeah.
And they hadn't had their room assigned yet. And so it was easier to get the scooter than to get their room assigned.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because up until the point that my mom was sitting on the scooter. She didn't have a room yet.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. And so we took the scooter. They gave it to her outside the terminal, and then you drive it on.
Right.
And the interesting thing is you don't leave the scooter on board. You take it off at the end of the cruise. And so
right.
If you're out there and you're thinking that you might need a scooter, what was the name? What was that name?
It's called Scoot Around.
Scoot Around. It was so easy. I would highly recommend it.
Absolutely.
But it was an interesting week for us because it's the first time we'd ever traveled where somebody had a scooter, and it really opened my eyes to, some of the challenges that you have. Like, I'm convinced, like, I always thought that mobility issues, people that had mobility challenges on a cruise, I thought they would be more challenged by the actual physical cruise ship.
Right.
But I really feel like people are the biggest challenge when you have mobility issues.
Yeah, it was kind of sad, right? Like, some people, you just got to get out of the way, especially you don't know what kind of driver they are on that scooter.
That's very true. Yeah, and I mean, it's a give and take. Obviously, people are there to enjoy their vacation, but managing a crowd in a scooter, that was pretty interesting.
And yeah, sometimes it was a little difficult, right? And then they also magically disappear.
Yeah, that's an interesting story that we should go ahead and talk about. Okay, here's my one beef with the Scoot Around. When we picked up the scooter, they told Frankie Poo very specifically, take the key out of the scooter whenever you're not using the scooter.
That is correct.
And Frank took the key out of the scooter every time.
Every time.
So the implication there is that, that key is important and that it could be unique.
Right.
It's not unique.
It is not unique.
One morning at breakfast that we were in the Lido buffet, and
you know how busy the Lido buffet is, right? And the chairs are very close together. So we parked the scooter outside the Lido buffet by the elevator banks. Right.
And then when we came out about, maybe a half hour later, the scooter was gone.
It was missing. Dun, dun, dun.
And that kind of began a whole odyssey. I can't remember what day that was, but
it was a crazy day.
Poor Frankie had to go back and forth.
I think we were in Nassau that day because you remember.
That's right. To customer service. And as soon as Frankie got to customer service, they told him, yes, somebody reported that they accidentally took their scooter. So apparently, now there were no other scooters in the elevator bank, but all the keys for the scooters work for all the scooters. They're universal.
That is true.
And so somebody in their confusion accidentally walked up and put their key in the scooter and thought it was their scooter, but there was no other scooters anywhere.
I think that's what really just confuses me a lot is that, listen, I can understand. So they parked it. There's like this silver thing that holds up the boat diagram. So they parked it right next to that to, out of any walkways, that kind of stuff. So if it was missing, I could totally understand it being on the other side of that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But there was no scooter anywhere.
The long and the short of it was there was a lot of trips back and forth to customer service by Frankie.
It was a little nerve-wracking, actually.
Because, you're liable for the scooter.
Right.
That's the contract.
That's the bottom line is that, and they do offer insurance.
Yes.
So that is a plus. But my thought process was this also. So the people realized that they took the wrong scooter.
Yeah.
Bring it to customer service right away then.
They didn't.
They did not.
What did they do with it?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
I think didn't we find out that they took it to Nassau?
Oh, that's right. They did. They drove it off of Nassau. But where was their scooter and all this?
It's so weird because they knew right before. That is interesting. They knew right before they got off the ship because it was already reported to customer service, oh, we took the wrong scooter.
Right.
But then they took it off.
I don't know. The whole story was crazy. And, what's wild, right, is that I would say there was a lot of people with scooters.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But my mother knew exactly who it was.
It was so weird. After we got the scooter back, it was later that evening. Emily is driving by a person that was walking, no less. Or was the person on a scooter?
The husband was on the scooter.
Okay, so she drives by somebody that's on another scooter, and she gives him the look, and she's like,
she gives him the stink eye.
Did you happen to?
She
didn't stink eye him, but she's like, did you happen to accidentally get my scooter? And they had a huge conversation about it. So,
and they became friends.
I don't know that it was intentional, but man, it was kind of.
I don't think it was intentional at all, but it was just very odd with how it all occurred. And I guess maybe the other side of the Lido looked the same, but the pool is out there, so I don't know.
All's well that ends well with the scooter. But let me tell you a little bit about the day. Now, again, I'm in my mind, I'm calling this a vacation gambling cruise. Our first appointment every day was no earlier than 10 a.m.
Oh, wasn't that lovely?
As someone who gets up early every day, whether I'm at home or whether I'm cruising, the 10 a.m. start time was pretty sweet.
Yeah, and it was nice to just not have an alarm on anything. It was really just nice. It
was super nice. Now, we did stay out pretty late, but there were a couple nights I feel like we quit about 11 o'clock and then slept all the way until close to that. I don't think I slept any later than 9 o'clock, to be honest. I still had to get up, and I had to motivate this one over here to get up. But it was so nice. And so like our routine is we would try to, now most of the breakfast shut down at 10:30. So we would try to get to the Lido buffet at 10. And then if you wanted to grab some breakfast burritos or Guy's Burger.
Guy's Burger for breakfast.
There was time to do that. So we would have breakfast. And then I feel like we would go back and take a nap or something or do some work.
Yeah, and it's crazy, right? Because it was nice to be able to see you sleep a little later.
Thank you.
Because you are up early all the time. And, with me, I get up and I'm ready to go, within an hour, like after my shower and coffee and that kind of stuff, and get to work.
Yes.
But, when I have a day off at home, it's like, yeah, I'll get up. And then you're always thinking, oh, I really should do some laundry. Oh, I really should dust that. And then you just get into other things, right? So on a cruise ship, I think that I could probably stay in bed all day.
It was nice. I mean, it was just super nice. A lot of times we didn't really eat lunch. So our thing was like late breakfast,
right?
Early dinner.
Yes.
And then that way we could go to a show and then hit the casino early.
And that was the routine day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That was definitely the routine. Now, we would snack sometimes, in between breakfast and lunch. And then on the 1C day, we did go to C day brunch.
That's right.
Which was nice. So, we did the buffet primarily for breakfast. And then we did the C day brunch. And then most evenings we ate in the MDR. Mm-hmm. And then one night we did the specialty dining. We did Cucino de Capitano.
That's right.
Look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Carnival has some of the best $15 specialty dining options.
I totally agree.
We had a great meal at Cucina for $15 each. You couldn't beat it. So it was really fun. So many things about cruising was great on that cruise. It was a lot of sleep, a lot of shows, a lot of gambling, and good food.
Yeah, let's talk about that chicken parm.
Chicken parm was really good, right?
Oof, that was
chicken
so good.
Parm from Cucina.
And my mother had that pork chop that looked like
a tomahawk pork chop.
I mean, if you like a pork chop, that definitely was a good one.
So we've stumbled into the food area. Let's talk about a few things. The Sunrise, which unbeknownst to us, they were testing out Guy's Burger for breakfast.
Right.
We did do a little video about that, but when I first saw it, I didn't think much of it because all I saw was like a big pan of eggs, and I don't really care about that.
Right.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
So
I don't like it. But the second day, so I saw that on the first day, right?
Right.
And I got my favorite, the Blue Iguana breakfast burrito. I like it with the crispy potatoes. I like it with the chicken sausage.
Right.
I like to get those arepa things. I like all that. I like it. And so I walked by Guy's Burger, but I tell you what, the second day, there was enough enticement. The option to get Guy's Burger was so there when I woke up. I had to have Guy's Burger for breakfast. The only thing that was different on my burger than normal is the donkey sauce had been infused with maple syrup.
Yeah.
or some sort of maple.
What did you think of that?
It was good. I mean,
Yeah.
the burger is pretty cheesy and salty, anyways. And anytime you get a little sweet mixed with savory, it was. I don't like it to be too sweet, right? I'm not sweets in the morning, but so it was good. And then they had their own version of a crispy hash brown on the burger. I didn't like it. Yeah, it didn't. Did you have you had that on your turkey burger?
I
right?
did.
It didn't seem like a potato hash brown. It seemed weird.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, I'd rather just put some French fries.
They had fries though. You didn't
Yeah.
get any. Yeah, but yeah, I'll put some fries on the burger.
Yeah, I mean, instead of, I don't know what that thing was, or take the crispy potatoes from Blue Iguana
And put that on
that on the burger.
Now you got adventurous on the day that you tried Guy's Burger for breakfast. You got it said it was turkey sausage, but after we tried it, it seemed more like a turkey burger, right?
Yeah, it was so, and I don't know what the odd taste was, but there was a little like aftertaste maybe.
Yeah.
So like I think if they can perfect or do something different with that turkey burger, because there was a little bit of an aftertaste.
Right.
And maybe that was coming from the potato, I don't know. But like all in all, I think it was a pretty good sandwich.
Yeah.
Like it tasted good, and what it is too is another option
Right.
of an included place for breakfast.
Well, this is what I think happened. A few months ago, they rolled out that new brunch menu that has burgers on it.
Right.
And I think they looked and a lot of people were ordering burgers.
Right.
I don't know if it was putting any extra pressure on C-Day brunch, like they were getting more burger people, but it probably clicked with them. Yeah, people like burgers for breakfast.
I mean, yeah, it's almost like a steak and an egg.
I don't know if they're going to do that everywhere, but I think they would have success with it. Now, there was no toppings bar, right? Like one of the major appeals of Guys is the toppings bar.
But my turkey burger has some bacon on it.
Yeah, turkey burger had bacon on it, but yeah, I agree with you. I think it was a good option.
Yeah, and maybe instead of regular bacon on the turkey burger, they should put turkey bacon.
That sounds too healthy.
Well, I mean, wouldn't it make more sense, right? Like
Yes.
people want, if they're getting the turkey burger or turkey sausage, whatever it is, put like turkey bacon on it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
It makes sense. Now, the other new thing that we did, other than trying burgers for breakfast, we did the regular buffet. Jenny loves the French toast there.
I do.
I like salty stuff, so I ate a lot of, watermelon with salt and those kind of
I'm
things.
not really a big breakfast person.
No. But we did do the main dining room 4 of the 5 nights. But what
Right.
was new for us, we normally do like a set time dining, early dining. And this time we did anytime dining. And it's the first time I've had some exposure to anytime dining on Carnival in a while.
Right.
And they got like a new process.
Yeah, a great process.
I don't know if I don't know how new the process is, but the way it worked was you had 2 ways to reserve your table. You could either go down, so anytime dining was from 5:15 to 9:15.
Right.
You could go down to a reservation desk that lived between the casino and the Alchemy Bar on the deck 5 on the promenade deck. And you could stand in line, and then you could go up to a little counter and tell them how many people you wanted, and they would give you a reservation time.
That's correct.
Or you could use the Hub app. Now, the challenge with the Hub app is so the Hub app worked really well.
Absolutely.
You pull up you pull up your dining because you have anytime dining.
Right.
You push a button and it asks you who's in your party.
Yes.
And so as long as everybody's logged into the Hub app at least once, their name should show up on that list.
That's correct.
And so for us, we would pick all 4 of our names, except we didn't have everybody in our party.
Frankie Poo.
Frankie Poo had not logged into the app. So we just put 3 names, and then every night we had to go there and say,
Hey, it's really for 4.
it's really for 4. Now, the challenge, it was cool. So you could, anywhere on the cruise ship, you could reserve your table. With the Hub app, you could walk right down to the restaurant. The challenge, though, is if you had any table requirements, like you wanted 4 chairs, or you didn't want a booth, or you only wanted a booth, or you wanted to be close or something, you could not ask for any of those accommodations on the app. So you had to go to the desk there and kind of make more accommodations or ask for accommodations.
And they were real quick to fix that for us after they kind of knew our expectation of needs.
Yeah, no, everybody was super nice, super helpful, but if you didn't have to worry about that part of it, like if you could just type in there, I need table with 4 chairs opposed to a booth, if there was some way to pass that message along, it would be super smooth.
Oh yeah, I think that would save a lot of time and for the maitre d' and the assistant. And I kind of like so I do like set dining. Like that is probably I like that when it's a group aspect.
Yeah.
Like a large group. But I did like anytime dining. I felt like it was very easy and smooth to go on the hub, make our reservation for when we were ready to go.
Yeah.
We did request the same waiter.
Yeah.
And that was accommodated.
Not through the app though. Again, any accommodation we had to ask the lady at the desk.
Right. And I mean, I liked it, right? Like, so if one night, and we went down every night at the same time. So like for us, it really didn't make a difference this past time.
Kind of. Now that's what I was going to say. There was one night we went down significantly later than we did the previous nights. We had like a 7 o'clock or 6:30 night
dinner. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. I can't remember what night it was.
That's right. We did.
That's what I was going to bring up. So I like the set time dining also. But here's the two things that I found to be an advantage of the anytime dining.
Yeah.
The first night that we went, the waiter was not really good.
No.
And it seemed like a nice enough guy, but he was not really good at the waiter part.
I totally agree.
And so if we'd have had set dining, we'd have had that same guy all week.
Yeah, and that would have been super frustrating.
Yeah, and so the next night we got a different waiter, and he was really good.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah, and so that was cool. I like that aspect of it. And then I like the aspect of, I can't remember why we were later. We took a nap. We took a massive nap.
Oh, that's right. All of us took a nap.
Yeah, so our normal cycle was, breakfast at 10, do nothing until 5:15.
Nothing.
Yeah, do nothing until 5:15, and then meet up for dinner. And then we would either go show, gamble, or we go gamble,
or
show,
win a
gamble.
ship on the stick.
Yeah, we did sneak into trivia a couple times, but one day we went back to the cabin at 2:30.
Right.
After some trivia.
Right.
And we went to sleep till like 5:30.
Oh, wasn't that nice?
And so did Frank and Emily.
Frankie Poo.
Yes, and so it was nice to not be stuck on a 5:30 dining time or 6 o'clock dining time.
Yeah, because then we would have had to figure out, all right, let's go to the Lido, see what's open.
Yeah. We still
maybe
got to
get some room service.
Yeah, so thumbs up on the anytime dining. I liked it.
Absolutely, and you know what? It worked out well, and it's nice to have the choice.
It's definitely nice to have the choice.
Yeah.
So this is our third Carnival cruise this year. We've been on the Carnival Breeze.
Right, the Breeze in April.
We were on the Breeze in April, and we were on the Carnival Vista in October.
The Vista in October, and then the Sunrise this past week.
Yes.
And this is how I describe the Sunrise, right?
Yes.
It's like the Breeze and the Vista had a baby.
Yeah, so we completed the full family.
That's right.
We definitely got to get into that. But the thing I wanted to bring up is we've had that same MDR menu on all three ships.
Yeah.
I think it's called the American Table.
I don't like it.
You really don't like it?
I mean, there's something.
Let's talk about the food.
Okay.
Any standout food in any of those cruises or this past cruise that you thought was just off the chain?
So of course Carnival has one of the best pork chops in the MDR.
So you like the pork chop?
I love their pork chops, and that is on the daily. Like you can get that daily.
Yeah.
Their mushroom bisque, I think it was, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Their risotto is good.
Yeah. So why didn't you like the menu? What do you dislike about the menu? It sounds like you got some food that you like.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could get a pork chop every night.
Right. But I know you don't want to eat the same thing every night.
Yeah, but you know what? I like it enough that I can. And I gotta say, Carnival has some great mashed potatoes in the MDR. Every night I was like, hey, can I get a side of mashed potatoes, please?
I'm happy with it. So my expectation on the MDR is that, because it's basically banquet food, right?
Right.
I worked in a hotel before,
right.
And banquet food is definitely different than prepared to order.
Right. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. It's.
I mean,
like you said,
could complain about it.
It's banquet food.
What would you like to see on that? So is it the quality of the food that makes you not like that menu, or the choices of the food?
It's the choices.
What would you like to? Because
the quality is fair.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, I know we were on a short cruise and it was 5 days, but there was no escargot.
Yes. So I do have a beef with that.
Yeah.
The menu on days 6 and 7 gets pretty nice on that. There's usually, so there's no lobster night on the 5-day cruise.
Well, I mean, you could purchase it for extra, but
I'm not calling the purchase lobster night. How dare you? I would not. I tell you, look, just to be honest, don't ever purchase the $20 lobster. It's not
don't do
worth
it.
It's not worth it. That's just my take on it. We've done it before. It's not worth it. Yeah, no escargot. So yeah, I would like to see escargot daily. Mm-hmm. Escargot should be daily. But
we did get baked Alaska.
Baked Alaska is pretty good.
Which is wonderful.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so I think I'm happy with the menu, but this is what I'm finding cruising the same. It's no secret that we like to cruise different cruise lines.
Absolutely.
So I need food variety and I need entertainment variety. And I tell you what, I like that menu fine, but I'm ready to try something else.
Yeah, I think that it gets a little repetitive, right? If you're on the same cruise line.
Yeah, I find myself going back to old standards. Like I'm going to have prime rib, like I'm going to, and I've tried some different things on there, but I enjoyed the food though. I enjoyed the dining together. Mm-hmm. I had a great time there, but
I do have a little beef in there.
You had some beef.
No, I have a little beef.
You didn't like the beef.
Concern.
You didn't like the beef tenderloin.
No, I didn't like the tenderloin.
What beef do you have? What's your concern?
So my thought process is: listen, I understand you got rid of the tablecloths. Yes. I get it.
Yes,
but at least on elegant formal night, whatever you want to call it, they should have a tablecloth on the table.
So this is where I'm at on that.
Okay, let's hear it.
I am more upset. There was a news story some time ago that talked about a cruise line doing away with towel animals.
Okay.
I am more upset about the tablecloths being removed than the towel animals.
Right.
But here's where I'm at on it.
Okay.
Carnival is very loosey-goosey on their dress code.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's
more laid back, right?
I think they've come out, like I've seen it on brand ambassador John Heald's page. Why do you people have trouble with people wearing a hat? I don't see any trouble, those kind of things.
Right.
So I get the sense that the overall attitude of Carnival Cruise Lines is we don't really care what you wear on formal night.
Yeah, but I mean, like I've seen some people be turned away.
For like shorts, but you don't have to wear a suit or anything on formal night.
Right.
So fine. If you're not going to care about the way people dress, I'm not too worried about the table. I don't care on Carnival anymore. I just know that if I want tablecloths, I can go back to Royal and get me some tablecloths.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Man, any other food things that stick out? We didn't try the Seafood Shack. We've had that before.
Yeah.
You know what?
The pizza was good.
The pizza was good, and we went to the deli a couple times.
Yeah, we did go to the deli.
The deli is pretty fun.
I like the deli.
We found that became our new. So LNP, if you're new here, LNP stands for late night pizza. Part of our ritual sometimes is to gamble, go to a show, and at 11 or 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we like to get that LNP. But a couple nights it was earlier than 10:30 p.m., which is when the deli closed.
Right.
And so we replaced LNP with some deli sandwiches and a pretty good selection. Pretty good selection, right?
Yeah.
Pastrami, corned beef. You can't go wrong. I highly recommend the deli if you're looking for a little late night snack.
Yeah. What was your favorite thing at the deli?
The only thing that I had twice at the deli, they have a buffalo chicken sandwich.
Right.
And I don't know how it compares.
Because you like it spicy.
I don't know how it compares in the Popeye Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. But when it comes to chicken sandwiches from a deli at sea, they might have the only one. So I'm going to go on the record and say that Carnival's chicken sandwich is the best one that I've had. Because I don't think I've seen one anywhere else. But so I had the buffalo chicken sandwich twice. Mm-hmm. It was pretty good. And then they have a hot dog option there.
Yes, I did like that.
I'm not afraid of a hot dog.
No.
And so that was pretty good. But I don't know. Their ham and cheese was good.
Yeah.
I know what you like, though.
What did I like?
That meatball on focaccia.
It was good.
It was really good.
Listen, it's not the elegant, known as meatballs from the Italian restaurant.
But it was good.
But, it's that Subway kind of quality.
Let's close out the food section with this.
Yeah.
My favorite
What was your favorite, Tony?
My favorite sandwich on the cruise ship was leftover chicken parmesan on a guy's burger bun. One of our afternoons, we had leftovers from cucina in our refrigerator. And I'm like, we need some bread. We need to have a chicken parm sandwich. And it finally hit me that I could go to Guys and get some plain buns. And they're already buttered and toasted.
Yes, they were very good.
That was a great sandwich.
I think what stands out to me is the La Lido Loca French fries.
I don't think you can call these La Lido Loca French
Why
fries.
not?
But explain to the people what La Lido Loca French fries are.
So La Lido Loca French fries are the French fries from Guys.
Yes.
And then you put some shredded cheddar.
Yes.
And some ranch.
Yes.
And some bacon bits.
Yes. So, I mean, those are just loaded French fries.
Right.
We can call them the La Lido Loca
I'm going to call them Triple L French fries.
But I did do some work to get them, right? So I got the French fries from Guys.
Yes.
I got the bacon from Guys topping bar.
You did.
Then I went somewhere on the salad bar on the buffet to get the shredded cheese. And then also that's where I got the ranch. So yeah, I had to do some work to get it.
That's right.
And that was tricky because Guys closed at 2:30 every day. So if you wanted the Triple L La Lido Loca bacon ranch cheese fries,
that's how they're made.
To time it right. We missed it one day, and all we ended up was with fries and bacon.
Yeah, it was not good.
We didn't eat.
It wasn't the
No,
same.
I didn't like it.
No, so those are the Triple L double F French fries.
Yeah, so if you guys go out there and have loaded fries, make sure you take a picture of it. So Jenny, before we get too much further into the sunrise, let's just remind the people out there that if you have any desire to go on a cruise with us, we do have some La Lido Loca group cruises.
We do.
On a variety of cruise lines.
Absolutely.
We'll be cruising on
Carnival for Halloween.
We'll be cruising on Royal Caribbean.
The Harmony of the Seas and the Majesty of the Seas.
We'll be cruising on Norwegian Cruise Lines.
Yes, on the Encore to Alaska.
We are currently booking cabins on all of those cruises. You can go to Alaska. You can hang out with us in New Orleans. You can dress up with us for Halloween. And we've already got people signed up. A lot of locafam are in the mix. And so if you want to go cruising with us, go to www.lalidoloca.com/group cruise, see the schedule, contact Jenny, get plugged in. And beyond the group cruises, if you have any cruising or travel needs, Jenny is your travel agent. You might not even know it yet.
Thank you.
You might not even know it yet. But you can reach out to Jenny at jbarnette@cruiseshipcenters.com. That information is on our website. It's also in the show notes, in the description. And Jenny will hook you up.
I will try. Absolutely.
Get your travel needs here with La Lido Loca. Get to know us and come cruise with us.
Yeah, and you know what's kind of cool is that, with the group cruises, I kind of know people before you do. So
that's right.
I know something before Tony because I get to talk to people on the phone.
How dare you? All right, back to the sunrise. Let's talk about the entertainment. So
let's do that. Do we want to start off with the shows? Or or do you want to start off with the cruise director?
It's almost the same, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk cruise director and move that into entertainment. We had Chris Williams, the Flying Scotsman.
Right, and I didn't know what to expect going into it, right? Because, you do see little things, and I'm like, oh, he wears a kilt. He's.
Got an interesting voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did not know what to expect. This cruise director was awesome.
I mean, he blew me away. I
really came away. It doesn't play out well in the videos how kind of nice and genuine the guy is.
Absolutely.
Just because maybe you can't do that in a video, but man, he was there for events. He had all the announcements going on. But what really blew me away, and we'll start with this, I guess, is he has his own show on the cruise ship. Mm-hmm. And it's
called The Flying Scotsman.
The Flying Scotsman. And the interesting thing is it was on the last night of the cruise, which I thought was weird. Like, why is Chris's show on the last night of the cruise?
Right.
Well, they really made it a show to close out the cruise. I don't know if he's on 7-day cruises, if that cruise ship does 7 days, if it would still be on the last night. But it was pretty awesome.
He blew me away. Like, I'm even just thinking about it, I'm getting goosebumps, right? Because he was amazing.
A great entertainer. And
absolutely.
I found out since I've been home that he got his start as a playlist performer. Mm-hmm. And he's got a great voice. He did a variety of songs from rock and roll to opera to traditional Scottish song that brought tears to my eyes.
I mean, brought tears to your eyes because it was so touching, all of those songs, but then also brought tears to your eyes on the other hand because he's super funny.
He is super funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is
an entertainer.
Just a great entertainer. Now the shows happened in the Liquid Lounge.
Right.
And the Liquid Lounge on the Sunrise had been transformed. When it transformed from the Triumph to the Sunrise, they redid that room. They took away all the bench seatings, and they've transformed that into a Liquid Lounge that has chairs. But this is the first one, after looking close, that I noticed they have a lot of two-person couches in that room. In the kind of moving up into the second level and there on the floor. I found that seating to be really good.
I did also. I thought that it was, I loved it. Actually, this changed my mind completely on that new type of lounge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, theater. Absolutely.
The show that's jumping off in we saw two other kind of stage production shows. The first one was Vintage Pop.
Right.
And everything at Vintage Pop, they took the costuming and the theming from the 1920s, like the Roaring 20s. The thing I really liked is they had a band.
Yes.
And the band was awesome. So it was I don't know how many pieces it was. They had a string bass player. They had a guy that played 3 instruments. He played the clarinet. He played the saxophone. He played the flute. And then there was also a trumpet player, a drummer, and a keyboardist.
Yeah.
They were awesome. So it was pretty cool. They took that Gatsby's 1920 flair and they did modern songs with it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good show. Did you like that show?
I must have not liked it as much as you because I'm trying to remember it.
Somebody was in her phone during the show. What the heck, Jenny? No, it was kind of cool because they turned part of the floor into an interactive space where people could come down and get on the floor. Well, the dancers and the singers could come interact with the crowd. And that brings us to how about the Soulbound? Did you like that show? That was kind of where they did the concert. What was Jenny doing on the? Okay, it's just you and me, people. Jenny was just thinking about the casino.
So was that the one that I sat up on top with my mom?
Yes.
Okay. That one was great.
Sure.
No, I remember Eddie's spaghetti dancing and
yes.
All the other entertainers, and then they were getting the other people up. Yeah. No, that one was good.
I don't believe you.
Wasn't that Motown, though?
That was Motown, but it was called Soulbound. So Soulbound, all these singers and dancers, there was no...
Well, maybe that's why I was confused, because I thought it was called Motown.
There was no elaborate set there. They just sang, and they opened up the whole floor as a dance floor.
Right.
And they had a group of people that would get people up and dance. It was a good show. I don't think I've ever seen either one of those shows, so I was happy about that.
Oh, and then the first one was the people that had the VIP seating.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're going back only a week ago, but...
goodness. Of course, they had the Welcome Show, and if I have to hear those songs from the Welcome Show, I like to go to the Welcome Show because I like to see the cruise director, and I like to see the performers for the first time. Mm-hmm. But I wish they would change the show. It seems like the last 4 or 5 Carnival cruises we've been on, they still sing that, Right Now Van Halen song from...
Right. And I think that's what I like about other cruise lines is that they have specific entertainment for that ship.
Yes.
So if you don't go on the same ship, you get different entertainment.
There is some benefit to that. Now, I don't know if it's true for all lines because like Celebrity, they said the one show that we were seeing that night, they've been doing for 4 years on different ships.
Right.
So I think you just got to pick and choose your entertainment. But I was super excited to see those shows. And you mentioned Eddie Spaghetti. So a couple shout outs to people that were great on the cruise. Of course, cruise director Chris Williams, the Flying Scotsman, big shout out. And then we spent a lot of time with this guy called Eddie Spaghetti. And Eddie Spaghetti is on the entertainment team. He was in charge of the trivia.
Right.
And just a quick
bingo.
Just a quick thing on the trivia. We played 4 games of trivia, 3 one day, and then we played 5 games of trivia, 3 one day, 2 the next. And I won a ship on a stick.
Yay.
But that was all hosted by Eddie Spaghetti. He was awesome. And then he did the bingo.
Yeah.
And we did do bingo one night. We paid $40 for an hour's worth of bingo.
It was big money.
It was
a big bust.
It was a little bit of a bust. I don't want to be too harsh because everybody loves the bingo.
Right.
But maybe some of our bingo fans can help us. Somebody can comment on this. It was 3 games of bingo.
Right.
And the prizes got bigger after each game. The grand prize game paid $750.
That's correct.
And so we had like all these bingo cards and we were playing bingo. And what I thought would happen is the game would get progressively harder, but it got progressively easier.
Yeah.
So like on the first game, you had to get 5 in a row somewhere on the page. Mm-hmm. And then on the second game, you had to get like 2 rows of 3 side by side, a 6-pack or something like that.
Right.
I think that's what it was called. So you had to get 6 in a row on the first one, which was somewhat hard. The second one, you had to get 2-3 rows together, the 6-pack, which I guess could be hard. And the final game, you would think they would have you cover the whole card.
Right.
That was not it. They wanted a stamp. So a stamp, you only have to get four numbers together.
Right. Or even a
Like in a
large
square.
round robin.
It was so crazy. Like, so with your free square, you only needed 3 other numbers to win this game.
Right.
And after
It was
calling
over like that.
after calling 3 or 4 numbers, 3 people had bingo.
Yeah, it was.
And so 3 people
Very
had to split
disappointing.
the big prize of $750, where I feel like if they would have done something that you had to cover most of the board, isn't that the way bingo usually works? Like it gets harder for the big prize?
I mean, that's how it's supposed to work. I mean, that's how I remember it.
I don't know. I don't know what the bingo rules are, but it was a big letdown because I was like, okay, game 1 and 2 we didn't win, but at least you're gonna have to cover everything to get the.
Well, listen, maybe it's something that Carnival does. Instead of having one happy person for $750, they know that if they do, it that way, that they can have multiple people that win. So then there's multiple people that are happy and had a good experience.
Yeah, but
gotta think of it
they
that way
sell it
too,
to
maybe.
you like you got a chance to win $750, which I guess you do.
Right.
But if the last game is like everybody who can fill in the free square wins, a portion of $750, which is what it felt like. I mean, I don't know.
Right, but take it from, as a business, right?
Yeah.
So they're selling you the cards.
Yeah.
They're getting you excited to win $750.
Yes.
And if they do it like the way they do it, instead of just having one person out of 100 people happy, then they have 3.
Well, I know 4 people that weren't happy at the end of that, and I know at least one of those 4
Right.
people who won't pay $40 to play bingo
Ever again.
So
Make that 2 because I don't think
2.
I will ever do it again.
And I don't know if Emily and Frankie. So it was cool. There was a lot of bingo selling. Like,
Yeah,
there
it was
so much
over
bingo.
the top.
That's my only beef with the Flying Scotsman show. Like,
Yeah.
man, he gave this moving rendition of his folk song from his homeland,
Mm-hmm.
and while everybody was still in the feel, still in the emotion of it, it's like, yeah, by the way, bingo's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, why are you? Don't take us out of it. We're with
Yeah.
you, brother. We're like in Scotland and we're feeling it, and we got the feels. Bingo coming up.
Yeah.
Like, dang, this bingo.
And I know that he has to do that.
He's got to do that.
Yeah.
But man, read the room. Let the emotion
Yeah.
die down.
And I want to get back to the cruise director.
Yes.
Real quick. So
Yes.
I'll tell you what I loved about. So what I love about Carnival, right, is that they do have I'm going to put it out there. I feel that they have the best cruise directors in the industry.
I've said it. I believe that.
And I just gotta say, like, Chris really, he blew me away in the fact that he wasn't over the top, but you knew he was there.
Right.
And some of the cruise directors are super over the top, right? Like they come over the loudspeaker and you just want to slap them silly, like, can you please stop? Like I'm trying to sleep or something, But his voice was very calming when he came over the loudspeaker, right? And he was very down to earth, and I just think that he's a gem. He definitely is a really, he might knock some people that that I love as cruise directors out of the park.
Yeah, he ranks really high up there for
Absolutely.
one of my favorite cruise
Absolutely.
directors. When you talk about the announcements, it reminds me of another thing, and all you Carnival cruisers out there, help me out with this one. We went to Princess Cay, which is a water shuttle port stop.
Right.
It's a tender port stop. And in the past, we had gone to Half Moon Cay.
Right.
And you just went down and got on the shuttle and they took you over. Well, apparently from what we could hear from the announcements, the 2.5 hours worth of announcements, is that they have a ticket system now.
Yeah.
So at some point, if you wanted to go to Half Moon Cay, you would, or if you wanted to go to Princess Cay, Princess's Cay, whatever it's called, Princess Cay. If you wanted to go there, you had to go to a tote board, very similar to where you get your luggage tags, and you had to grab a ticket for the water shuttle.
Right.
And man, that poor Chris dude, he called those. No, it was 40 of them or something.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And so every 5 minutes he was on saying, if you got number one, go to the. I've never seen that ticketing process before. So if you're a Carnival sailor out there, if you've sailed a lot with Carnival, have you ever used a ticket system to go on a tender service or to go on a water shuttle? That was the only time where I was like, I wouldn't mind Chris not talking again because we were still in the cabin and he started and like every five. And the cool thing, he doesn't come, like the voice doesn't come right into the cabin, but you could hear it outside the cabin.
Right.
And it was, just,
I was starting to feel bad for him.
Man. But yeah, overall, the entertainment, the cruise director, the entertainment staff, the staff in general, it was really good.
It was.
It was really good. Now, another funny thing that happened to us, and shout out to customer service, they were really good. When we first went on the cruise ship, now a couple weeks ago, if you follow our videos, I made a video talking about 3 things that people like on Carnival that I don't necessarily love.
That's right.
And those 3 things were the chocolate melting cake, the Showtime dinner show, and the towel animals. And one of the funny comments on that video is somebody said, look, they are going to revoke your loyalty with Carnival and you are going to get a blue sail and sign card. Yuck, yuck, laugh, laugh. You know what? When we got on this cruise ship, I had a blue sail and sign card.
It was pretty funny because I'm like, who wrote that as a comment?
Here's the quick explanation of that. My birthday was in our booking incorrectly at the check-in process, and I feel like I'm the one that did that. I think when I checked in, my birthday was 11 days off. It was it was not right. And so that's why I had the blue card. I had to go down to customer service. So if you ever have to make any changes with your ship card, make sure you take some ID with you. I had to make a couple trips to customer service. I got it fixed and I got the yellow card. But one thing that didn't happen.
The gold card.
The gold card. But I guess because of the messed up booking or whatever, I didn't get my gold gifts. So I didn't get my pen. I didn't get my drink. And I had a blue card to start off with, which was kind of funny.
It was kind of funny. And, you know, if you've been with us for a while, you know how laid back Tony is, right? Like, it's not going to bother him, blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you, when he got that blue card,
I was not excited.
He was not happy.
Well, I was worried primarily. Why was I worried?
You were worried. We were both worried, right? That we would change platinum at different times. Right.
So that's the thing. You want to make sure that you're correct in your sailing so that you get the appropriate days.
That's right.
So I was afraid that I wouldn't get credit for the 5-day sail and that Jenny would be ahead of me in this game.
That's right.
But it's not about being ahead, but I just wanted to make sure that I was in the right place on the loyalty spectrum. Because
I would have shared my, priority booking.
You didn't even share your free drink with me.
I didn't even have my free drink.
How dare you? How dare you? So a lot of cool stuff happening on the Sunrise. Let's talk about a couple more things because I know we've been talking for a while. Thanks everybody for hanging in. Let's talk about the cabin that we had. This was our first balcony cabin on a Carnival cruise ship.
Right.
We had just a regular balcony. We were on deck 6.
Right, midship.
And what did you think of the room?
So location-wise, I felt like it was perfect.
Sorta.
If we were on a different deck.
I
feel like the location was perfect. I didn't like the room.
What did you not like about the room?
So I didn't like how the bed was set up.
Yes.
You had to kind of inch around it or jump on the bed from one side to get onto one of the sides. And I felt that the balcony was, they put so much money into this renovation and not to have new furniture out there or, no rust stains, that kind of stuff.
That was the crazy part to me. Now, I've been pretty fortunate. I've been on Royal's new cruise ship there in Asia. and the spectrum of the seas. I had a really nice balcony. That was my last balcony experience. And so I'm going to agree with you. So the room was pretty standard sized bathroom. I was excited that it had a couch, right? That's right. The standard in balconies for the most part. But they made a choice, right? So we had one nightstand, and they chose to put the nightstand between the couch and the bed.
Right.
So that pushed the bed almost all the way next to the wall on one side.
Right.
So a small person would have had trouble getting in the bed on the side that's been pushed toward the wall. I feel like they could have made another choice and put the nightstand on that side next to the wall and push the couch closer to the bed. It would have been easier. I don't know why we didn't do that along the way. But we had a balcony, which was cool.
Right.
But when you went out on the balcony, it was the smallest thing I've ever encountered.
Yeah,
and
it was pretty small.
It was dirty. Like the ship went through all this renovation, and all of the metal around the balcony was stained with rust, or it was dirty. I was shocked. I honestly was shocked because I know that they spent all this money transforming it into the sunrise.
Right.
It was not great. I didn't want to go out on the balcony. It was what I did like is the way the window, you could open the curtain, you could see out, but I didn't spend much time on the balcony. I think the balcony was probably my biggest complaint of that cabin.
I think the rest of the cabin, everything was super clean, almost new, and well taken care of.
Yeah. I would agree with that. It was beautiful on the inside of the ship. I can't complain. And what you were saying earlier is it looked like, so to me, I feel like it's a stepping stone, right? So the layout and the design of the Sunrise is actually older than the Breeze and the Vista.
Right.
So you can tell that Carnival takes some of the best elements of their cruise ship and moves them into other things. So if you're thinking about the Sunrise, it had a really predominant multi-level atrium, which I feel like is inherited from the fantasy class.
Absolutely.
And it's awesome. I mean, there was a great place to, they would have nightly activities there. It was really cool. And then I don't know what the first ship was to get that Royal Promenade that includes like the, Red Frog and the Bonsai Sushi and the Alchemy. But again, we saw it basically
on the Breeze,
duplicated in the Breeze, and then stretched out even farther in the Vista. So big ups to Carnival for taking what are some of the best elements of their ship and continuing to put them on their ship. But the ship was beautiful. And the one thing that hit me when we were on the Sunrise is it was the perfect length.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was not, to walk from the aft to forward on the ship. You did not feel like, oh my goodness, when is this ship gonna end?
Yeah. My favorite cruise ship so far that we've been on is the Oasis of the Seas, but that is a really long cruise ship.
Right.
And it takes some walking, but you get so much on that ship. You get that dive, the dive show on the back, that special thing. You get Central Park, you get the boardwalk. But you pay for it in your steps. And so on this cruise where we really didn't want to do anything but sleep, have some food, go to some shows and gamble, this was the perfect length of ship. Now, interestingly, I read an article that Norwegian is starting to try to build ships that aren't as long.
Right.
And so I think this is something that I want to research further. Like, what's the perfect length of ship? But man, this one was. This ship was easy to walk.
Yeah. Well, and you talk a little bit about Oasis. What I do like about Oasis, right, is that the aft and the forward usually has the cabins, right? Like a lot of the cabins. Yeah. It's really just on the boardwalk that it's the back. I like the fact that most of it is condensed to the middle part of the ship, right? So even if you have to walk forward or walk to the aft, you're at least walking through the promenade or, Central Park or something like that. So
absolutely. No, I agree. And you didn't have to always go to those places.
Right.
So the key to like booking that ship is find those places that you want to be with. And we talk about this a lot.
Right.
Identify 2 or 3 places that you feel like you're going to be at a lot on the cruise ship and book your room near there.
Yeah. And, I know that you don't, neither of us like to go double on a ship, but I would go on the Sunrise again.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I would try I wouldn't do a balcony, but I would do an interior or something. But I love the size of the ship. I would love to try now the Sunshine, right?
Yeah. I would definitely like to try the Sunshine.
Or the Radiance.
And let's talk about some things that maybe we liked and we didn't like. I really liked the casino. And one of the reasons I like the casino, it's going to be a good and a bad. Half of the casino and half of the casino bar is non-smoking.
Right.
So I always have trouble when they make you walk through the casino and it's really super smoky. Well, somehow they've made the walk-through part non-smoking, and somehow they keep the smoke out of it.
Yeah.
It's an open room, but the walk through to the Royal Promenade, it's not that smoky.
Yeah, I was super impressed with that, because even on the Vista and the Breeze, which have the same setup for the casino, were super smoky when you would walk through there.
And this is how I think they do it, because if you go on the other side, the smoking side, there is a set of elevators that go up to the 6th floor where we were staying. And somehow they push all of that smoke upstairs
to deck 6 where we were staying.
Right where we were at, it smelled so smoky on our floor. So I think part of the trade-off of getting it non-smoking is somehow they're pushing that smoke up to the 6th floor.
Right.
And that was troublesome during the cruise. But the casino layout was good. The people that worked in the casino were great. The casino host, a lot of energy, a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
All the dealers that I interacted with, super, super nice. And so it was a great casino experience for me.
Well, and you got to remember, it wasn't an ultra cruise.
It wasn't an ultra cruise, so it wasn't overly crowded. That's the other thing. The ship wasn't super crowded.
Right.
I don't think it was a full ship.
No, not at all.
Other than that, like, okay, let's finish the conversation up with this.
Okay.
I really didn't have many. The smoke on the 6th floor, that was a dislike.
Absolutely.
The muster drill on that class of ship,
horrible.
dislike. That's one of those deals where everybody stands outside on the deck 4 deep, and you just have to stand there while they track down the late people. Didn't love that.
Didn't love it. I did love the coffee shop.
Coffee shop was great. I can't think of many complaints. I mean, other than some of the appearance, there were a couple places where I could smell some sewage, but I don't think it. I think it shed the poop cruise thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if someone was crop dusting or not.
It could have been crop dusted. But overall, really nice. And that leaves us with the other couple pain points on the cruise ship: embarkation, debarkation. I feel like both are pretty smooth.
Both were pretty smooth. So I think our pain points, there was only one that was a true pain point.
Yeah.
And it reminded me very much of the Liberty. So
yeah, I didn't like it.
And I had bad memories.
I didn't like it. Well, Jenny, any final thoughts on the Sunrise? You already said you would do it again.
Yeah, I would.
Any other thoughts?
It was super cool running into a couple of locafam.
Yeah.
And I really just enjoyed my downtime hanging out with my mom, Frankie, and you.
It was really a great cruise.
Yeah.
And it leaves out of Fort Lauderdale. I think that's where it lives right now. That's a great port to cruise out of. And you can cruise on the Sunrise at a reasonable price.
Absolutely. And, to have Chris, hanging out as the cruise director, I think, they chose wisely, but I would love to see him again.
Yeah, that was a super unique experience. So if you want a trip down to the Bahamas, if you want something that's not overly expensive and you want a really unique experience with the cruise director on I would say a medium-sized ship, I would do the Carnival Sunrise. It was a great week. I had a good time.
Yeah, so, maybe after the Mardi Gras comes out, maybe Chris gets the new ship.
The Mardi Gras?
No, after.
I was going to say, your boy Matt Mitchum's going to the Mardi
Gras.
Gras.
I don't know if Matt Mitchum's my boy anymore.
What?
Yeah, I really just enjoyed Chris a lot.
Ooh, Jenny's got a new cruise director crush.
No, I just think that he...
CDC.
Yeah. I mean, he just... he's the full package, right?
It was really entertaining.
Yeah. He was great.
I enjoyed it. Well, all right, guys. I know we've been talking for a while. That is our extensive look at the Sunrise. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are new here and you have any questions, you can send questions to us at questions@lidoloca.com. Send us an email. We'll be happy to talk about it on the podcast. Again, so much love for the podcast. We're only 3 episodes in, and we've been getting positive reviews on iTunes. We've been getting a lot of great feedback.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
And welcome to the Loca fam. If you're just finding us through the podcast, Jenny and I have been making videos on YouTube for close to 3 years now. And really, we see all you guys that interact with us as an extension of our family. We call that family the locafam, and so we welcome you. We would invite you to join us on Facebook at the Lido Loca cruising community, and tell a friend if you know somebody that likes cruising, if you know somebody that likes cruising podcast, try to get Lido Loca in the mix. So Jenny, 90 days until we cruise. We got them cruise blues.
Yeah, well, we have a lot to do in 90 days.
A lot to do.
But we will become Florida residents.
We will be moving to Florida very soon.
Do you know what that means?
We can cruise more.
We can cruise more, so it may not be 90 days.
Stay tuned. Come back next week for another podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. My name's Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are Lido Loca. And until the next time,
we'll see you on the Lido.
We'll see you on the Lido.
Bye.